This. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is UnKut with former Nebraska baseball pitcher Kyle Perry on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Happy Sunday, folks. Welcome into UnKut here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Kyle Perry, and here's to 3 days this week of hopefully entertaining UnKut as we approach Southern California on Saturday. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about here in the next couple of days. What are we going to look for out of the Skurs? Other than a win, of course. How are we going to do that? And where we stand on the whole thing. I talked last week a lot. I called it the therapy couch. I was on the therapy couch for the entire week, I'd say, coming off that brutal loss from UCLA, and it does look a little bit better. Iowa fell to them by short of a field goal yesterday, which is good because we always like to see Iowa lose. That's always a satisfying thing, and to see the team that embarrassed us at home the week before take down Iowa, who's been a pretty good team this year, makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. And my prediction of or really my gut feeling rather of finding one win in the next 3 games as a Husker football team to be nothing short of a miracle. And that might be a little harsh, but that's how I was feeling last week, licking my wounds, and we turn a page on a new week here on Sunday night, and pleasure to be here with you though. Great opportunities, great steps to be had, steps to be taken coming into an important game against USC. My whole thing is that there needs to be a sense of urgency. It needs to be noticeable, especially on the offensive side of the ball. There needs to be a great game plan coming off of a bye week. Our last time coming off a bye week was that Ohio State, the first game we came back off of a bye week. I can't remember. I would have to check, but Jake is here in the booth with us too. He's just vibing out over here. It's good to see you, Jake. Hope you had a good week, man.
I can't lose on a bye week.
No, it's great. It's great.
So Indiana was the last bye week they had.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so that was the game coming off of a bye week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Couldn't tell, but
so the track record isn't looking great on the season, but hopefully they flip that script. Show us a new team. Show us a little new energy. You know, there's so many bowl games to be had. There's a lot of benefits that come with appearing in a bowl game, regardless if that's the Fiesta Bowl or you name it.
Duke Mayo Bowl. Man.
Yeah, the Duke Mayo Bowl. But anyways, I mean, you got to punch your ticket at some point, and that's the threshold Nebraska football needs to break through to take that next step in what we hope is a golden age of Husker football under Matt Rule, and still encouraged. Still encouraged, but I did think, talking through this entire week, that maybe we did take a step back. We did take a couple steps back, maybe, and maybe this the rebuild here in Lincoln takes a little bit longer than I initially thought it would take. My window was the next 3 years. One of the next 3 years, Rule's going to punch our ticket to a college football playoff. Which looks to be a lot more reasonable now with the expansion of 12 teams, which I am absolutely for. I love the tournament format. Give us a different look in the college football landscape that we haven't gotten to see, and you're seeing a lot of competitive games being played week in, week out throughout the country, and that gives me hope. Just not only looking into this week, but to the rest of the season, and hopefully the rest of what's a long tenure for Coach Rule and company here in Lincoln, and so this week's a great opportunity for them. But But that being said, it needs to be noticeable. There needs to be a motivated team going into Southern Cal, and I think it's a great opportunity. Lincoln Riley has had a tough year this year down there in LA, and hopefully we take advantage of that. But that they're not going to come out flat or unmotivated. You could say that Trojan team, but it does make me think. If we can come out and get a 6th win this weekend, which I have not been totally hooked on the possibility that we can get one out of the next 3 here, but no, if we can take this step, I think it is it's a huge celebration for the program, for the school, and for the opportunities that are ahead, and the future of the entire university. Really, I think it starts with getting a 6th win, and really breaking that threshold that has felt like it's holding men's sports back quite a bit, and I think the men's sports around here would gain a lot of respect once the football program makes it back, and I think everything is gonna tick up a notch. Volleyball is holding up their end of the bargain. Women's basketball, great. Men's basketball coming off a strong season. Baseball coming off a strong season. Soccer, women's soccer, I mean, just coming off an incredible Elite 8 run. Bowling, there's a lot of great things happening in Lincoln, and really the one thing that's just that's been lagging a bit is the football. I mean, it is, and I'm not sitting here to bash the football program. There have been mistakes had, and there have been changes that take time. And in a time of ever-changing landscapes of college sports, especially the last few years, it's easy to get impatient. It's easy to desire those immediate results, but Nebraska hasn't gotten much benefit of immediate results, especially in the recent history. So I think getting that 6th win really kind of bust those doors down, per se, and break that threshold of hopefully turning over a new leaf, not only in football but the future of Husker sports, and so for that opportunity, I'm excited, and hopefully we can get that done this weekend. And I will be gone though. I will be gone on Wednesday to Sunday. Spencer Schwellenbach is getting married in January, so we're doing his bachelor trip. The part's unknown. I'm going to say that for security reasons, but we are thrilled. We are absolutely thrilled. So I won't be doing shows on Wednesday and Thursday. To those that are religious listeners here on UnKut, I'm sorry to let you down. One of my very few that are out there, and I'm sure my mom's listening, so I apologize, Mom. What else happened? Ole Miss upsets Georgia. Goalpost gets taken out to I believe a small pond, is what I heard, I believe. And I where do you stand on the whole goalpost? The goalpost thieving of the goalpost. I'm pro goalpost theft.
Yeah, I know that years ago they worried about people getting hurt, and it's had some. It's hurt some people before. I think even had somebody had passed away from doing it before. That's kind of the danger of doing it, in my mind, right? Like, that it's kind of dangerous inherently when you're doing it. But I get you have to kind of cover your bases there. It was, I mean, and they tried to take it away for last 10, 20 years, but it was just such a special part of college football. You don't really do that in the NFL, right? I mean, it's just kind of special to college football. So I liked it for the longest time. I still like it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
People, worried about lawsuits, and I hope nobody gets hurt from it. Don't get me wrong, but it's special, and I know people that are beaming with pride when they tell me I was on the goalpost in the 90s when this happened.
Yeah, and I think those pictures are epic. But
Yeah.
as long as we're not dying.
Yeah.
So RIP to those fallen to the goalpost theft. RIP, pouring out for you. But yeah, so obviously when people are dying, you don't want to be for it. But obviously when it's when it's a safely executed goalpost theft, more power to them. I think it's great. Really looking at it, I'm actually surprised not a lot more people have fallen, because really it's a stampede. They get that thing the hell out of there, and they just roll. They roll down to the closest body of water, man, and just give it a thrust into the ditch or something crazy. But I'm all for it when safely executed. So that's good to see. Who else? Who else upset who? LSU got trounced.
Yeah.
That's LSU's in a weird spot too right now. I feel like Brian Kelly is. I feel like he has the track record. He fits the mold as to what you would think the program needs, but it is a weird image to have as your head coach at such a brand that LSU is. I just don't know if Brian Kelly and LSU are a match made in heaven, if you will. But yeah, DeBoer, did you see the Alabama offensive coordinator was down at the came down to the sideline at the fourth quarter, 2-minute warning, and was like dapping everybody up. It was pretty epic. So
They had a big lead. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool. Haven't really seen that. I don't know if that's traditional or not, but cool to see. Alabama, I give it to DeBoer. I didn't think it was going to be that easy to keep up. Rolling with Saban's tradition, legacy of success, that is at the the highest tier of it when it comes to college football. Saban obviously being one of the goats of the coaching game in college football, but yeah, they're getting it done. Who else? Who's your daddy? Talk about those Hoosiers down in Bloomington. Holy smokes. Tip your cap to what they're doing there. I mean, when we got throttled by that Hoosier team a couple weeks back, we were just talking about it coming off the bye week. They slapped us right upside the face and rubbed our face in the feces of the dog for quite some time that poor Saturday. We're coming off of that one. I was like, wow, that team better be a a real dark horse for a playoff. Now they have solidified that, no doubt. 10-0. I believe they got ranked 5th today. So now they're a top 5 team. Hey, all right. Doesn't make that loss look that bad now. They put it to us, and they played like a top 5 team, that's for sure. And they're proving it. Which also brings up the point, tough when we're in a world, like I've mentioned, you want immediate results, you want immediate response, you want everything immediate, and the attention spans are getting shorter, and the tempers too a little bit. But you want Nebraska, right? You want Nebraska to have that success. As a Husker fan, what would you do? What would you do for a 10-0 start to your Husker football season? And I know for a lot of you, if you're around for the 70s, hell, the 80s, and especially the 90s, you know what that felt like. Me being born in 2000, I don't, and I really wish. The glory days for me were Bo Pelini and his glorious 9-win seasons. Would do anything in a heartbeat for a 9-win season around here, and I think we're on the cusp of getting to that point. But boy, it's a feeling we haven't felt in a while. So to see a club like Indiana, who hasn't been bad, they have not been bad. They've been on the upward trend. Nationally, maybe not so much. But when you talk about where we are as a Husker fan base, we have to be real with ourselves. They've they've been okay. They've been serviceable. Okay. They've been on a better trend than we have been, I would argue. But to see them bring in a new coach from James Madison University, brings over half his roster. Not sure what the exact numbers are, so don't quote me on that, but plenty of his team from JMU. Comes in his first season in the Big Ten. He starts off 10-0. I mean, that's tip your cap to him, man. That's honest work. And I've been to Bloomington, and they don't wow you with facilities other than their arena for basketball. An absolute cathedral that is. But their football stadium it is due for plenty of maintenance. And I mean, you saw the coverage while we were getting beat. I mean, there were hands in front of the cameras about every shot they took. Oh, there's a big run, and then there's 5 sets of hands. In the middle of the camera lens. So that's a tell for clearly they don't have the upgraded facilities to where there is a camera booth above the level of the fans' heads, which is unfortunate. But it's no secret that Indiana is not the pinnacle of college sports facilities. And here they are in the top 5. So it does make you think. It just makes you. It's awfully frustrating as a Husker fan to see that. Credit to them, whatever they're doing, whatever that secret sauce is to make that go around. I would love to know. But with that being said, it's frustrating to see Nebraska, a place that has the tradition, a place that has the facilities, not match that level of success. It just makes you wonder. The questions I ask are what strings are being pulled there that we're not pulling, because Bloomington, Indiana, and Lincoln, Nebraska, I'd say are pretty similar places. We've talked about their colors. I believe it was we're scarlet and cream, and I believe they were either cardinal and cream, or we'll get back to you on that. Another shade of red that wasn't scarlet. So we're very similar institutions, I'd say. Pretty similar locations, like I mentioned. But why isn't it happening at a place like Nebraska where it has been done? There you can come to Lincoln as a recruit, and you can be told we have won multiple national titles. We got the trophies right here to show. The crystal ball. We have Heisman winners. We have this. We have that. We have All-Americans. We have the training table. We have everything you could possibly ask for. If you come in with a list of questions, what do you have? What do you have? What do you have? Here in Lincoln, every box is going to be checked. And if you were to be recruited based off that, Nebraska should be the new Alabama of this generation of college football. But it's not happening like that. The immediate results aren't popping up like us nowadays really hope for or desire. But it's not really happening in the comparable landscape of college football. And so it does make you wonder, and I really empathize with Husker fans, myself being one. But boy, hopefully the ship turns around, and hopefully I'm proven wrong on thinking that finding that 6th win this year, especially coming off of 5 straight losses to end last year. Correct? Wasn't that the trend? 5 straight.
At least 4, yeah.
Well, we were stuck at 5 for quite some time, and we're facing that same situation, that same Groundhog Day type of deal where we're chasing that 6th, and that 6th is surely not guaranteed by any measure. It's going to need to be earned. There are teams that are trying to break that threshold too. There are teams that are in our path that we haven't had great history against. And I'm looking forward to this test that we got coming up on Saturday. So, we're going to dip our toe into a little bit of everything here on UnKut, and that's usually the trend. And so college football, NFL, you name it, we're going to be right back here on UnKut.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through November 12th is $2 off all crackers, $2 off on grind, $3 off on salami, and buy one, get one free on stew beef. Limit of 2. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to UnKut with Kyle Perry on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Hey now, welcome back to UnKut. I'm Kyle Perry, joined by Jake here in the booth here, and it's 10:30 at night, brisk, calm. Just happy to be here, folks. So thanks for tuning in if you're here. The NFL scoreboard. What do we got over there, Jake? That's gonna perk my ears up a little bit. Did the Bears win?
I can check out the Bears.
I gotta see if my Bears.
So the Bears fell to the Patriots today, 19-3.
Oh, Harrison, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, Harrison, man, that's tough. You know, because Harrison and I had a pretty heated exchange at the end of last week. Harrison calling me a spineless coward for not having an affiliation in the NFL. Just want a good product every Sunday, and Monday and Thursday. But boy, Harrison, that's a tough deal for Harrison. Thinking about you, Harrison. I know Harrison's probably using this show as white noise for his bedtime. But boy, that's tough to be a Bears fan. Tough to be a Bears fan. Shout out Timmy though. Tim Burnham getting his Pats on the board. I love it. That's good to see. The Pats may be turning a corner. The Bears, I thought maybe, but boy, tough situation there in Chicago. What else?
Well, apparently the fans started to chant "Fire Fluss," which is Matt Eberfluss, their coach.
Yep.
By the end of by the end of that game, so
Oof.
not a good look there. Then some other scores. Well, we should say what's going on right now. Lions and Texans tied at 23. That's a pretty good battle with some of the top teams in the league. 7-1 Detroit, 6-3 Houston.
All right.
Yeah, that's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Over in Munich, Germany this morning, the Panthers outlasted the Giants 20-17 in overtime. So
that's a tough matchup that those Germans had to see, you know? you really, America should just pump our best product out to Germany. And no, what was the combined record on those two teams?
Well, the Panthers improved to 3-7, while the Giants fell to 2-8.
Oh, man.
The Germans were just going. I don't get it.
America's finest, and Casey Rogers on the Giants squad. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cardinals beat the Jets. My Cardinals, by the way, beat the Jets 31-6. They've won 4 straight.
Hey, congrats, man.
17 straight passes for Kyler Murray, new franchise record.
You know what is crazy? And I'm being dead serious that he can see over his linemen.
Yeah.
That's really baffling, actually. Because now you got those, you got the VR, the virtual reality, where you can toss on the goggles, and there's a football game where you can play, and as the quarterback, and you see it from like the point of view of the quarterback. You turn and you see it, and I mean, I haven't seen it played with Kyler Murray, but I can only imagine that has to be like the hardest thing in the world, and that's probably the closest you can get to actually seeing what it's like. So one of these days I'm going to have to get into a VR headset and play as Kyler Murray, because I seriously can't believe that man can see above his 6'5" and up usually is your freaking offensive line. And he's what, 5'8"?
Yeah.
Incredible athlete. I'm not taking anything away from his skills. I mean, he got drafted first round in freaking in 2 sports. I mean, he got offered a boatload of money from the I believe it was the Oakland A's at the time. But a heck of a freaking athlete and a Heisman winner. But that does baffle me that he can make decisions. See. I don't think he can see above him. I think he's got to see through the cracks. Maybe see a slant through the A gap.
Yeah, 22 of 24 today, passing, and of course beat the former on the other side, the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers only had 151 yards passing. They put up 6 points.
Wow. Tough scene there in New York, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
They fall to 3-7.
Dang. That was wow. That's a tough deal. And you hate to see it, and at least I do. Aaron's been very publicly transparent about his belief system and maybe his politics and what he believes in. Whatever. Good for him. I don't care. I feel like he's being his authentic self, and so that's all you can ask from somebody. But boy, so there's probably a lot of people that I think that this is karma, or this is serves him right, he deserves it, yada yada yada. But boy, you gotta wonder what that does. What this, if he comes back another year next year, and they start out like this, boy, what it does to his legacy. What he did in Green Bay was spectacular. What a talent. But boy, it's having a season like that, it's kind of like you're going to start looking at like Rodgers, like the Jordan days with the Wizards, where it was a guy that just should have let it go, sort of deal.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Looking at it like Kyle Perry's 6th year at Nebraska. See,
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's got to affect his legacy at some point, and so So I wonder what'll happen next year, because this year isn't obviously they'd need nothing short of a miracle to find themselves in a postseason. There's no way they can make it to a postseason, correct? Or is there a loophole?
I don't think they're statistically eliminated, but yeah, they're not.
We're getting there.
I mean, the AFC East is so bad they are tied for second with the Patriots.
No kidding.
But the Buffaloes are 8-2.
That's crazy.
Or Buffalo, I should say.
So a wild card.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening, but it's out there. It's possible.
Wow. Well, hey, more power to him. But yeah, that's Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers he was in Wisconsin. That's for sure. And boy, he did talk about a darkness retreat. A darkness retreat. That would be. I feel like you'd have to figure some things out that you probably never thought you'd get to in a darkness retreat. Don't you think?
Would you be interested in doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'd probably last a couple hours.
Yeah, I get bored pretty quickly.
Well, I'd take a nap probably, and then once I was awake, I'd be really weird. Just alone with your thoughts. And I mean, where do you do these things at? Are you in an isolated room? Are you
cave?
Yeah, are you in a cave? Are you out in the jungle? I need context to know what I'm getting myself into. But I have an open mind. I would like to do that. Say, had a week, and no one else on earth, was around. Yeah, sure, I'd be open to it, but I don't know any time in my actual life I would like to carve out for a designated darkness retreat. But hey, maybe there's some sweepstakes that I sign up for in the near future offering a darkness retreat. And then hey, never shut the possibility down.
That's right.
Darkness retreat with Aaron Rodgers. That would be an interesting request, but once in a lifetime experience, no doubt. So yeah, that's where I stand.
Well, how about the 49ers? They outlasted the Bucks today, 23-20. Christian McCaffrey made his season debut, over 100 total yards. But what was maybe more interesting, Jake Moody did hit a 44-yarder for the win at the end, but he missed 3 field goals earlier in the game, and Deebo Samuel
slapped him.
Took a swing at him, yeah.
That's crazy.
Him and the long snapper.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's not how you start. It's how you finish, certainly. But boy, I mean, I can understand frustrations on Debo's side. They're missing 3 field goals. Never a good sign, knowing that all too well. But boy, Debo, he's a captain, I believe, of that club, and you gotta, I mean, hey, there's two sides to every story. So I'd love to hear how Debo, or to rationalize doing something of the nature, but sometimes maybe you need to slap them into place or put them into place and tell them to get their minds right. Accountability. There are different forms of it, obviously. But team sports are frustrating sometimes. When people aren't holding up their end of the bargain. That's when I was a relief pitcher. If my outing failed, it was the worst feeling ever because it was like you had one job to do, sort of thing. And I'm sure the kicker is feeling terrible. Long snapper, the two that were involved with the interaction with Debo. But yeah, there's definitely different forms of accountability, and it's tough to do that when so many cameras are around. You're caught in the act every single time you do something like that. And so I'm sure they sorted it out. I hope Debo dapped him up after the game, or and I guess you'll see a little bit of about Samuel's character and see if and see how that sorts itself out. But definitely a tough look when your team's struggling and you got one of your captains acting up like that, crashing out, if you will. That's the new term, Jake, of losing your marbles, crashing out.
Oh, that's what young people say?
Crashing out, yeah. Well, I'm not saying that's what young people are saying, but that's what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
But yeah, Debo crashed out. Yeah, but what other news do we have here?
Well, I was going to ask you, just because you brought it up, I always kind of wondered how prideful were you as a relief pitcher in getting a hold? It was like, that's a category people don't shine a light on too often, but it's an important category.
That's a big deal. It's a big deal, and I'm a very competitive person, and so I didn't really. I started my first 4 years at Nebraska. Fifth, I did both, and then my sixth, I didn't start. That was my only year I didn't make a start, out of all six. But definitely because you have one job to do. I mean, that, like I said, it's like you got to give your team a shot every time you go out there. Every inning, every time you take the ball is meaningful because you know how momentum can build throughout starts, whether it's 1 inning, 2 inning outings, whatever you're doing it. They build off of each other, and momentum can build, and just for you individually, but helping the team out, the team then has trust in you, and you can almost feel that when they're playing behind you, and so yeah, definitely getting a hold, especially when you're in the lead, or when you're down too, just to give your offense a shot, holding the team to no runs, and so your offense, they stay at bay, and you get your bats in to hopefully carve into that lead, or when you're winning, every time the other team your offense scores, you want to go out and put up a 0 shutdown inning. So very prideful in that. Although sometimes it did hit the skids out of the pen. I definitely, statistically, I bet, I'm not sure. Well, I probably was not the best relief pitcher. I had my ups and certainly my fair share of downs as a relief pitcher. But it's every time you take the ball as a relief pitcher, it's meaningful. So to get a hold, that was always the top priority when you go out there, regardless of situation. But yeah, it is cool. Just that it's not a different mindset. It certainly isn't, but it's definitely like a different way of approaching your outing, I'd say. Relief versus start. Start, you have this entire, you have your entire day really to do whatever you need to do, whether that's superstitious or otherwise routine based. You have the entire day for you to prep for that, whatever. Morning games are a bit different, but yeah, it's definitely there's you don't dip your toe in necessarily as a starter, but there are you do have time to figure out how things are flowing, more times than not. If you're not ready to compete, it's gonna hit you every time. But obviously, you got it. That's a non-negotiable to be ready to compete when you get out there. But see the umpire zone, test their hitters, see how much they're on swing, and then eventually attack. And you want to come out of the gates attacking. But I digress. We had Spencer Schwellenbach on the cast last week, and he was talking about how he was carving the Los Angeles Dodgers lineup, and Mookie went 0-2, and Ohtani went 0-3, and Freddie Freeman went 0-3. It's like, dude, as those are the future world champs, and he made the core of their offense, look like Swiss cheese. So yeah, pretty incredible there. But so I'm not the best pitching advice you can get around here on the ticket. But definitely as a relief pitcher, the game started, regardless of what situation you're coming into. The game has started. The players are warmed up. They're ready for you. When you come out, you have to get ready to attack them in the bullpen, and you got to take that same focus and intensity out onto the game mound, and that's why you see a short leash on a lot of guys, because it can go south really quick. But if you're ready to go, and say you got a funky arm slot, or you just got some seriously electric stuff, you can make offenses look really bad because they're not ready for you, or you're suffocating the strike zone, or all the above. So I do like seeing relief pitchers come out now that I have the experience of doing so. But starting is definitely a lot cooler when it comes to getting your routine and kind of having it your way, if you will. But relief pitching is definitely a gritty, dirty job that I guarantee you every high level relief pitcher takes a lot of pride in their work. So I very happy to have done both. But what would have been a really cool deal to see, to see what Husker baseball can do, really in the near future after coming off my last year. And as a fan, I'm really looking forward to that, and just giving myself something to look forward to in the spring. So, going to be really fired up to see what Coach Bolton and the boys can bring up to the 2025 Huskers. So, yeah, maybe we'll talk more about Husker baseball on the way back here. This is Uncut.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through November 12th is $2 off all crackers, $2 off on grind, $3 off on salami, and buy one, get one free on stew beef. Limit of 2. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine bottles are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Back to Uncut with Kyle Perry on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Welcome back here on Uncut, here on 93.7 The Ticket. Pleasure to be here, and here I am on my weekly adventure of getting this headset right on my face and do my best to entertain you for a couple more minutes here before I drive home into the darkness and start another Husker game week. We got USC coming up on Saturday, and boy, really excited for the opportunity, and hopefully we punch our ticket to a bowl in what I thought was going to be a miracle last week after our unfortunate loss to UCLA, who they then turn around and beat the Iowa Hawkeyes, which we always love to see them lose. So gives us maybe a little bit more hope around here, a little bit more optimism, at least in me, to where I was left with nothing but a couple of breadcrumbs of optimism after last week. So I'll take anything we can get around here, man. Can't be greedy, especially here. As a Husker, that's not in your DNA, man. It isn't. There's a point where you can get greedy, but that's not where we're at right now. And so just got to be honest with yourself, move on, and be excited for whatever opportunities are ahead. And there's plenty of meat left on the bone, if you will, for the Huskers. And if they were to finish out 3-0, I would, heck, I might have to do some crazy things if that were to happen. Jake, what do you think? How good of a shot do we have to go 3-0?
Ooh. Well, considering their history, it doesn't feel too likely. But after this week, it does. I mean, USC has 5 losses, Wisconsin has 4, Iowa has 4, Nebraska has 4. So it feels a lot more gettable. 3 in a row, man, we'd be riding high, wouldn't we? I think there's probably less than 5%. I don't want to say that. Maybe less than 10% chance that happens, but
golly, I'd be one happy guy.
Yeah.
I'd love to get proven wrong. I'm right so many times, Jake, that being wrong feels really good.
Does it?
Nah, I'm joking. Just recently here on UnKut, we've been pulling out some takes that we don't really want to be true, and they turn out to be true. It's like, so that's just where we're at, man. But yeah, we wrapped up the last segment talking some Husker baseball, talking some experiences with you. Always happy to share my experiences, and I'm always happy to answer any questions that need to be asked or that want to be asked, that don't even necessarily need to be asked. I'm sure I got an experience for it, so always open to that sort of thing. Not going to be doing Wednesday or Thursday this week, which is tough. It's tough. We might have to actually tune in from Florida. That would be a fun one. I didn't even think about doing that. We could get
you mean unknown?
Oh, parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
Nah, that's all right. Big state.
Yeah, that's right.
The big state. Yeah, we're going to be posted up at Mar-a-Lago. No. I'm joking. This isn't a political show. No, by any means. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. We're going to get to golf, which I picked up recently. Not bad. I think I could do an entire round with just a 60 degree. You a big golf guy?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no, 60 degree. It's it's a club. It's a wedge is what they call it. It's for like the mid-range game.
Mm-hmm.
It has a 60 degree blade on it. So then that way when you hit it, it can flop up 60 degree.
You're pretty good with that one.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I could sell golf clubs, but I don't, I'm telling you, I got the 60 degree stroke down, if you will. All the other clubs struggle. I can't drive it. A 3 is a flip of the coin. And that's like there's a 2. The 2 is gosh, that's a really good question. Actually, see that maybe I couldn't sell golf clubs.
Yeah.
I just picked it up this last summer though. It really fun sport. A sport that I did not think was going to be fun. Do love the social aspect of the game. I think it also would be cool to go out and play alone, or just with another partner. I've done that before. That's pretty fun. Calming. There's a calming aspect to it. If the weather's nice, I mean that's all you can ask for in golf. I think a lot of baseball guys are attracted to golf, due to the relying on nature to hold its end up of the bargain, but yeah, I appreciate golf. Slow game, got to be patient, gotta donate probably a few hours of your day if you're going to go play 18. But I do like it. I'm on the golf train now. But with that being said, I can only hit the wedges where I want them to go and consistently. So I'm really not open to getting better at the things I'm bad at if I can just go out and compete with my wedges, and that's okay. No shame. No shame, and I'll maybe hit the driving range a little bit more to hone in on my driving skills or lack thereof.
How's your putt game?
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. My putt game, solid. But not all greens are not created equal. I can promise you that. And I found that out the hard way. So I am a big fan of the Texas wedge. That's when you use your putter, not on the green.
Oh, okay.
I love that. I think that's a great. I mean, that's the most because you know how hard you got to hit to get it to where it needs to go, and it's really hard to miss the face of your putter because it's so. I mean, it's meant to just. Anyways, but yeah, big fan of the Texas wedge. Whoever invented it, good for them. It's a heck of a strategy when it comes to golf. I mean, because hitting your wedges on the fringe, like outside of the green, like if you blade one, it's like it's shot, like it's out of a cannon, like, and that's skipping over the green into the fringe on the other side of the green. But boy, you whip out that putter, when you're a few feet out of the green and you're working with a whole new ball game, or at least it feels like it's a little bit more in your control. But I hope to hold my own this week, and I'm really excited for the opportunities. Great opportunities lying ahead, not only for us but the Huskers. So, going into another week, very, very excited. Very excited for the opportunities. Very excited for Husker fans, and another opportunity for that sixth win, that very elusive sixth win. And hopefully we're coming back next Sunday here with Jake with great news to bear for you all. So thanks for tuning in tonight, and you guys have a safe rest of your night, and we'll be right back here on UnKut tomorrow night, to be determined on the time there. But thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.